Let's dive right into this explainer. We're literally living through a gold rush of human optimization right now. And honestly, the science is moving way faster than most of us can even track. Today, we're looking at a massive head-on collision between two fascinating worlds. On one hand, you've got billion-dollar clinical trials run by pharmaceutical giants. And on the other, the absolute wild west of personalized underground biohacking.
So, what actually happens when these two radically different approaches smash into each other? Well, human health is basically splitting down two distinct paths. You have highly regulated pharma companies pouring billions into multi-year massive trials. Running completely parallel to that, you've got legally embattled compounding pharmacies and super risk-tolerant biohackers experimenting with off-label peptides. We're going to map out the jaw-dropping data coming out of both camps today and explore what happens when these worlds inevitably collide.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, Battle of the GLP-1s.
The sheer scale of efficacy we are seeing today is just staggering. Take the head-to-head SURMOUNT-5 trial published in the New England Journal of Medicine. Tirzepatide achieved a massive 20.2% weight loss and an 18.4 centimeter waist reduction. That significantly outpaced semaglutide, which, to be fair, still hit a highly impressive 13.7%. Think about that for a second. Just a few years ago, seeing double-digit percentage weight loss from a medication was virtually unheard of. Today, it's the new baseline.
Now, when you see nearly a fifth of a person's body weight just vanish, you'd naturally think, okay, we've hit the absolute ceiling of metabolic science, right? But no way. We can actually go further, and the pharmaceutical industry is already there.
Which brings us to Section 2, retatrutide, the triple agonist.
You see, previous drugs usually targeted one, maybe two receptors. But Eli Lilly's revolutionary new contender, retatrutide, is a totally different beast. It's a triple agonist. That means it's a single molecule specifically engineered to activate three different hormone receptors simultaneously: GIP, GLP-1, and glucagon. The real kicker here is adding glucagon to the mix. It actually increases your resting energy expenditure, basically forcing your body to burn more fuel and pushing metabolic regulation way beyond anything we've seen in previous generations.
And the sheer power of that triple mechanism, it's absolutely mind-blowing. The May 2026 TRIUMPH-1 Phase 3 results just confirm this. Over an 80-week period across 2,339 patients, the group on the highest 12 milligram dose achieved an average weight loss of 70.3 pounds. That is 28.3% of their total body weight, completely gone. The results were so profound that 65.3% of the people in the trial dropped their BMI so low they literally no longer meet the medical criteria for obesity. Just incredible.
All right, moving to Section 3, unprecedented weight loss and risks. Let's weigh the efficacy against the side effects. Now, you know, unprecedented efficacy always comes with complex realities. Let's look beyond just the massive weight loss. In June 2026, Eli Lilly announced that retatrutide also improved obstructive sleep apnea by a massive 60.6%. That's a reduction of over 36 events per hour. It also drastically dropped osteoarthritis knee pain by 73.1%, which is about a 4.3-point reduction. But here is the next great frontier, the ongoing TRIUMPH-3 trial. Remember how semaglutide's SELECT trial showed a 20% drop in major cardiovascular events? Well, TRIUMPH-3 is a massive cardiovascular outcomes trial, actively testing if retatrutide can match or even beat that benefit to secure its own cardiovascular indication. But looking at all this Phase 3 data, we've got to acknowledge the side effects. There was a very significant spike in a condition called dysesthesia, hitting almost 21% of patients on the highest dose.
So what exactly is dysesthesia? It's basically an abnormal sense of touch. It makes normal sensations feel really unusual, tingling, or even painful. What's wild about this is that it was virtually unseen in the Phase 2 trials. It just suddenly popped up in 1 out of every 5 high-dose patients in Phase 3. And honestly, this perfectly highlights exactly why massive, multi-year trials are so absolutely crucial. You simply don't catch everything in a small sample size.
Despite typical gastrointestinal issues like nausea and diarrhea, the overall dropout rate was actually pretty acceptable. Interestingly enough, that dysesthesia side effect rarely caused people to quit the drug. But here's a crazy fact for you. Some patients actually discontinued their treatment due to what they called perceived excessive weight loss. The drug was literally melting fat away too fast for their comfort level. Talk about a completely new medical problem to have.
Let's flip the script now. Section 4, the underground peptide boom. While Big Pharma is over there meticulously documenting every single side effect over years of trials, an entirely different world is booming right in parallel. Biohackers are chasing massive, life-altering benefits, but they're often navigating some pretty murky data to get there. Take this quote from neurobiologist Dr. Andrew Huberman regarding CJC 1295. Now, that's a growth hormone peptide that actually has links to cardiovascular deaths in past studies. He says he doesn't know why anyone would select it until all safety issues are resolved. The personal risk tolerance in this underground space is just entirely different.
So what are folks actually doing in the underground space? Well, it's all about hyper-customization. As peptide expert Dr. Craig Conover points out, people are going to compounding pharmacies for totally bespoke protocols. We're talking microdosing GLP-1 so they can lose fat without sacrificing muscle mass. They're using BPC 157 to rapidly repair inflamed joints, or literally injecting pinolone to hyper-enhance their REM sleep. It is the ultimate biological tinkering, totally personalized to the individual. But the gap in clinical evidence between these two camps is, frankly, massive. Big Pharma backs their claims with billions of dollars, huge patient cohorts, and intensely transparent reporting. The underground side, they rely heavily on rat studies, tiny little pilot programs, and anecdotal dosing protocols shared on internet forums. Playing in that space requires a massive amount of personal risk, and hopefully the close supervision of a highly informed physician.
Which naturally leads us to Section 5, the FDA peptide crackdown.
And that brings us to the dramatic fall of the wildly popular healing peptide BPC 157. Despite thousands of glowing anecdotal reports from users swearing it healed their knees and shoulders, the FDA cracked down super hard in 2023. They classified it as a Category 2 substance, essentially saying it completely lacks the safety data needed for legal compounding. On top of that, WADA banned it for athletes. As of right now, not a single regulatory agency worldwide has approved BPC 157 for human use. They effectively wiped it right off the legitimate compounding market overnight.
But you know, the underground always finds a way to adapt. We like to call it the practitioner pivot. It's literally a game of chemical cat and mouse. Once BPC 157 was banned, compounding doctors and chemists just started experimenting with closely related molecules. By swapping out just a single amino acid, they created a brand new compound called PDA. It operates completely outside the current bans, yet it mimics those exact same healing effects. Innovation simply routes around the regulation.
So, bringing it all together, as we watch highly regulated billion-dollar miracles like retatrutide tackle obesity and heart disease on a massive industrial scale, while at the exact same time, biohackers rapidly push the boundaries of gray market peptides for instant, customized healing, we are left with a huge, pivotal question. Will the true future of your optimal health be synthesized in a billion-dollar pharmaceutical lab, or will it be hyper-customized for you in a compounding pharmacy? The collision has already begun, and it's fascinating to watch. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.